Black History Month 2020, and this year's theme is African Americans in the vote. Now, in the late 1700s, free wealthy black men in the North and several states could vote until the 1830s. That's when white folks changed their minds, started burning and rioting in black neighborhoods, and then wrote into their constitution that free black people cannot vote. They're not citizens. However, between the 1830s and the 1860s, black people were fighting for emancipation and the right to vote. Basically, what they wanted was full citizenship, and voting is the most symbolic way that you can show that. In 1865, the last slaves were emancipated, and we entered the Reconstruction era. So there were these things called the Reconstruction Amendments. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery across the entire country, except in all the prisons. Loophole. The 14th Amendment was the first time the federal government had ever defined citizenship. Anybody born in the United States is a citizen. The 15th Amendment granted voting rights to all men regardless of race. So black men got the right to vote in 1870, but women still had to wait 50 years before they were afforded that same right. Even though women couldn't vote, in the South, black women would gather their communities together. They would collectively decide on how black men would represent the community at the ballot. So even though black women legally didn't have the right to vote, they found a way to carve out a place for their voice and to impact politics. Black women were well organized into the 1900s during the Suffrage Movement, or the fight for women's voting rights. However, white women usually maintained power within the larger suffragist movement, and black women were either excluded completely or they became political brokers between white women and black men. But don't sleep on these black women. They formed their own organizations where they could put pressure on Congress to earn their own voting rights. Two of the biggest organizations that did some of this work were the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs, founded in 1896, and the Alpha Suffrage Clubs, founded in 1913. Exactly 100 years ago in 1920, the U.S. government passed the 19th Amendment, giving women the legal right to vote. 150 years ago, black men got the right to vote. And so this Black History Month, we're celebrating black women's fight for voting rights.